But the big story that's breaking this evening, the Enforcement Directorate has now attached properties of the Anil Ambani group worth 7,500 crores, 132 acres in the Dhirubhai Ambani knowledge city near Mumbai has been attached by the Enforcement Directorate. Anil Ambani's house in Mumbai has also been part of the attachment. ADAG's Reliance Centre in Delhi has been attached, even as Reliance Infra is claiming none of this will have impact on operations. But Anil Ambani now clearly and squarely in the ED's crosshairs, his properties being attached worth at least 7,500 crores. Munish Pandey, who tracks the Enforcement Directorate for us, joins us. Munish, what happens next in the case, given that the ED says they have prima facie evidence of money laundering? What happens to Anil Ambani in particular next?
Well, Rajdeep, Anil Ambani has been grilled by the Enforcement Directorate. Earlier, his residence was raided by the Central Bureau of Investigation. And as of now, what ED claims that the total quantum of fraud which was committed by the companies related to Anil Ambani, it is more than 20,000 crores of rupees in multiple cases. And as of now, the attachment stands more than 7,500 crore, which means that more attachments will take place in coming days. But Rajdeep, what is important here is to point out is that the properties which have been attached by the ED, these properties in today's market value, these are worth more than 10,000 crores of rupees. For example, Anil Ambani's residence in Mumbai's Pali Hill, it is worth more than 6,000 crores of rupees. But the attachment list which has been shared by the Enforcement Directorate, the value has been calculated based on the documents which were, date back to many years back. So that's why at this point of time, the amount may look a little less than what it is, but the current market value of all these properties collective is more than 10,000 or 12,000 crores of rupees. But we have been given to understand is that there is a high possibility Anil Ambani will be called in for questioning again. You rightly pointed out there is a prima facie evidence against Anil Ambani. Sources have told India Today that they have clear-cut evidence that Anil Ambani was aware of the frauds which are being committed by the companies related to him. Whether he'll be arrested or not, that is $1 million question. But there is a possibility that it can't be denied that this point of time is that Anil Ambani won't be arrested. But we have to wait and watch when the ED will decide to arrest him. As of now, ED claims that their priority is to attach these properties and recover the money which has been allegedly, laundered by Anil Ambani's entities.
Okay, Munish Pandey with those details. We'll wait and see what happens next to Anil Ambani. The big story breaking this evening. So has women's cricket finally come of age in this country? Is this Indian women's 1983 moment for women's cricket? Has the glass ceiling in cricket been broken once and for all? Are women cricketers now on par with men? The rise of women in Indian sport is our top focus. Okay, and joining me now on this very special day are an absolute array of women of cricket in a way to celebrate with us this very special day. Mitali Raj, former India captain, the highest scorer for India at World Cups. Also joining me is Punam Yadav, Arjuna Award winner, Sushma Verma, former Indian cricketer. I'm also joined by Edulji, one of the great pioneers of this sport for Indian cricket when it first started, and Sharda Ugra, one of India's leading sports journalists. I appreciate all of you joining us, as I said, on this incredibly momentous day when India has lifted the World Cup late last night. The tryst with destiny, as they are calling it, for cricket at midnight. Mitali Raj, to you first. What does it mean for someone like you who came so close and yet couldn't really quite make it with a World Cup in your hands, to actually have that trophy in your hands, presented by some of your teammates who were keen to have you celebrate the occasion with them? What did it mean for you, Mitali, that night yesterday?
I think it all came down to the couple of times that we were in the finals, didn't really cross the line. There were some of the players like Harman, Smriti, they were also part of the 2017 World Cup final. To see them cross that line, both of them took this team across. It was a big opportunity. Having the World Cup at home, and we really wanted India to do well in this World Cup. And once they qualified for the semis, because I had a lot of nerves in the semi-final just before the start of that game. But the way the Indian team made a comeback into after losing those three big games and then making a comeback against New Zealand, winning against Australia. In the finals, I knew India will get through. But it was a big night for all of us. Seeing some of these young girls coming off, like Richa Ghosh, Shefali Verma, all of them who've been part of the last 2022 edition World Cup where I led. To see them do so well and fulfill the dreams of all of us in the past, the former cricketers who've always had the dream that India should win a World Cup, and they were able to do that in reality for all of us. So it was a huge, big night.
So for you, the turning point was that win against Australia in the semi-finals. Am I right, Mitali? That was when you knew India can do it.
Well, I knew India can do it. So did I feel that even Australia knew the only team that can beat them is the Indian team. And it was so clinical. I mean, at no point did the girls fumble or in that run chase, losing a couple of early wickets. But that partnership was so important. Harman showed her calmness. Jemima, through the tournament, she spoke about the anxiety, but coming out on that stage in a knockout game to come up with 100 and actually seeing the team through till the end. I mean, that was one hell of a knockout by an Indian. And then in the final, Shafali Verma, I knew that the capability and the skill that she gets, but that's 2 wickets with that golden arm that she got for India. I think that was also a turning point in the final. She came as sort of a wild card for India in this tournament.
Right. There are lots of course, heroines and heroes in this tournament. The likes of Deepti Sharma, who had an incredible final. Smriti, of course, is a remarkable player. Harmanpreet and Jemima with that knock. Shefali in the finals. Punam Yadav, was there a particular player who stood out for you for this Indian team, or was it a team effort?
देखिए, मेरे हिसाब से तो टीम एफर्ट ही होता है, क्योंकि क्रिकेट एक टीम स्पोर्ट है, तो किसी एक का नाम लेना बड़ा ही मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि हर गेम में हर एक नया खिलाड़ी उभर कर आया था। और जिस तरीके से वाइल्ड कार्ड एंट्री हुई है शेफाली वर्मा की, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छे फॉर्म में थी, डोमेस्टिक में बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हुए आ रही थी। और दीप्ति शर्मा जो काफ़ी टाइम से सीनियर प्लेयर हैं, हमेशा चाहे मिडल ओवर्स में बॉलिंग करा लीजिए, चाहे उनसे बैटिंग करा लीजिए ऊपर, चाहे डेथ ओवर में उनसे बॉलिंग करा लीजिए, मुझे लगता है उनसे होनहार खिलाड़ी इस टीम में मुझे लगता है एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन खिलाड़ी एक वुमेन्स इंडियन टीम को मिला है। और शेफाली डोमेस्टिक में बहुत ही अच्छे फॉर्म में थी, तो मुझे लगता है उसका इफेक्ट उन्होंने उस फाइनल इतने बड़े गेम में उन्होंने दिखाया।
Diana, Edulji, I want to come to you because you've seen Indian cricket, women's cricket through the not so good times, the 70s, 80s, 90s, 80s and 90s, when often you had to travel in unreserved railway compartments. You actually had to crowdsource your way, if I'm not mistaken, to even attend a World Cup. You want to give us a sense what this means for people like you who struggled in those days, Diana? What yesterday means?
Well, after winning the World Cup last night, I cannot believe that 50 years have passed since we started playing cricket. And that those 50 years, the transformation that has taken place in women's cricket is immense. It was a watershed moment for me. I was at the ground watching the game live, and I just could not control my emotions. I was absolutely over the moon. This was a trophy which I wanted very badly. We missed it narrowly in 2017. We missed the T20 in Melbourne very narrowly, with the finals we played there. That was a trophy which I wanted in the BCCI cabinet. And as a COA member, I knew this team is capable of doing things. I gave them everything they wanted, and I just said, I want performance. And just before the finals, when I spoke to Harman and I said, I want that star on the jersey that the men have three. Let's start with our women also, senior women, because the junior and under 19 have 2 stars on their jersey. It's time that the seniors do it. And she finally, the team and all the full team played like champions. I was very proud. It was a great moment, a historical day. And just going back 50 years, I feel it's worth living 50 years in this moment.
Sharda Ugra, you've written a very evocative piece recently about about how a billion dreams in a way are ignited when the Indian team does so well. Do you believe a real barrier has been broken? And do you give the credit to the players? Do you give some credit to the BCCI that a couple of years ago actually decided to give equal pay to women cricketers? What do you believe has changed, Sharda? Has something changed in the world of sport as far as India is concerned, where women sportsmen can dream big?
Hi, thanks, Rajdeep, for having me here. And before I answer, I'll do the thing that you hate your guests do. That's to say congratulations to Diana, to Mitali, to Punam, to Sushma. And, for this great performance. I'm so happy for all of you. I think what has changed definitely has been the quality of, the competitiveness of the players, their readiness for the fight, and the fact that they were so prepared and so ready for this. Now, mind you, a World Cup at home is not an easy World Cup to win. It's very, very difficult because there is pressure and all of it. But when I saw this women's team, it was like these women who are walking on the shoulders of all these giants that had got them there, particularly in the final. It did not seem to be, I was so stressed out during the semi-final while watching Jemima chase, even though we had not lost a lot of wickets and the tempo of the innings was fine. But in the final, I thought they were much more relaxed, much better. I think since the time the BCCI started giving contracts to the senior players, a small bunch of them, we can discuss the money issue later. I'm a bit sort of 50-50 on that. Post 13, 14, 15, at least acknowledging the existence of women players as professionals that need to be supported like the men are supported. The introduction of the WPL is a very big thing. That's all the factors that have come together, and we've got this terrific performance and this terrific team.
Why do you say equal pay for women cricketers was not a turning point? You seem to be 50-50 on that. Was that not a major factor, or just the fact that women cricket was finally being recognized was more important?
I think women's cricket, the pay parity factor, it's a bit of a smoke and mirrors, according to me, because you're promising them the same amount of money, but they don't play the same amount of games. So you can play 15 lakh rupees a test match, but if women are not going to play test matches, what's the point? So they don't play that many games. And you're looking then at your retainership contracts. You need to have that at least at par. And you can see, because of the fact that the WPL has been put into place, you have been able to get all this talent coming through. You had 10 debutants, I think, in a World Cup in this team. Also, the fact that this the performance bonus, as it's called, the 50 crores that have been given, is unequal to what the men got for a 2020 win, which is 125. And the moment you say it's unequal, everyone starts getting a little bit prickly and bristly and saying, oh no, but it's okay, it's fine, it's the women. And you're talking about TV rights and media rights. That's not the business of the women. It's not the business of the women to get TV rights money. It's the business of the BCCI to get the money, to market the women's game, to run the women's game as a separate vertical in their, that's why I'm saying I'm 50-50. I don't want to be a grumpy and a grouch, and I'm very happy for the women. And may they get more rewards and awards.
Okay, today is not a day to be, I guess, where we can keep the grouses and the grumpiness for another day and discuss that also. But Mitali, do you believe that somewhere self-belief has come in? That's the big difference. The belief that they can do it. They rub shoulders with the Australian players, for example, regularly in the WPL. So the self-belief has come into the game in a manner that perhaps was not the case in the past, when, as Sharda rightly put it, there was a time when women's cricket was not even recognized in the way that it should have been. I've seen stories of how difficult it was for some of you to actually continue play the sport.
See, I think the belief has come from WPL. It has definitely transformed women's cricket. I would say these 3 seasons, every time the players are put into the crunch situation during the franchise league, we've seen some amazing innings, matches getting into that super over in Bangalore. Every game in the franchise league is tight. And when you find an Indian player in that situation, time and again, you eventually find a way out of that current situation. You'll find a way how to get going through those situations. Those experiences help you then when you're competing at the global events. You know that you've already gone through those experiences. Let's say for Richa Ghosh, she comes into that particular role in T20s as a hitter in the last 5 overs, and the same role was given to her in this World Cup as well in that batting lineup, and she pretty much knows how to go about. If we talk about Harmanpreet Kaur, the innings again Gujarat Giants in Delhi, single-handedly she took the match away. So if you consistently are in that situation, you sort of understand your game well. There is a better awareness of it, and there is that self-belief that yes, in this situation, out of 5 games, I'm able to get the team out of 3 times. So that's where you build on the confidence and the belief. And without support, without resources to prepare for this big event, I don't think you would have the wings to soar. A huge credit to BCCI. Yes, the things that Sharda spoke, it's for another day, but BCCI has definitely made a lot of they've gotten a number of games before this event. India has stood England. They've played England. They've played Australia. They've got those number of ODI games before a World Cup to prepare them well. They've got camps. They've had particularly skill camps, whether it is batting camps or bowling camps, getting camps in the venues where they are going to play more games during this tournament, whether it is Vizag or it is Mumbai. So I think everything has got the team to perform the way they did. Yes, credit should go to the players, to the support staff. Indian team has about 18 to 20 support staff minus the 15-member squad. So you can understand how much BCCI has worked in the last 2-3 years to give them that resources and facilities. I'm sure if the same amount of support was given to the former players at the times of 80s and 90s, we would probably had a better result as well in terms of the World Cup and the matches that they've played.
In a sense, therefore, Diana, Edulji, there are those who are calling this India's 1983 moment, likening it to what Kapil Dev achieved, broke a barrier, India wins the World Cup, defeats the mighty West Indies, here we defeat the mighty Australians in the semi. Is this a 1983 moment? In a way, are we going to, in your view, see women's cricket now go to another level?
Rajdeep, I would actually say the turning point came in 2017, when we entered the finals at Lord's and just missed out on that we just lost by 8 runs. That is when everybody woke up and started recognizing women's cricket. So I would say, in a way, yes, 83 moment, but this victory has given much more than what 83 guys got. So that is the only difference. So Sharda shouldn't complain. In 83, the men hardly got any money, but the women are getting a lot of money here. So I don't grudge it at all. I'm happy. I would want more, definitely. Yeah, Rajdeep.
Right. We all want more. We all want more in whatever profession we do. But Sharda Ugra, is this an 83 moment? Or is this a bit like 2011? I mean, I'm trying to draw parallels, maybe wrongly, with the men's game. But the belief, that self-belief, the ability to hand pressure situations, to find new stars like Jemima, to find wonderful stories like that of a Harmanpreet or a Deepti Sharma, all of which seems to suggest that we have created, women's cricket now has a story to tell. In fact, women's sport, if you look at PV Sindhu, the Sania Mirzas, all of them have stories to tell.
Yeah, I agree with Diana here. It's not exactly the 83 moment in that sense, because that's the male lens that you're looking at the women's game with. I think 2017 was breakout for the simple reason that you had those matches on television for the first time, and everyone across the country could switch on their television and see how extraordinary these players were, who they were, what their skill sets were, what they were able to do. And this win, what it's going to do, it's going to literally accelerate this growth and development and popularity of women's cricket. So maybe it's more 2011 or maybe perhaps maybe a post IPL type of thing. That's the closest I can get to it. But we don't need to actually compare it with sort of the male history, because the women have their own route and their own path. And I think what it will do is certainly break open a lot of these girls in this team. More than half of them are sort of successors of this 2017 story that happened. So Harman and Smriti are followed in the footsteps of Julan and Mitali. But all the girls that are later, the younger girls, they all are Harman and Smriti's sort of successors and after them. And they belong to that 20, they are the followers of that 2017 class. And now everyone who's watched this on TV, thousands and millions of girls around the world are going to say, I want to be there. I want to do that also. That number, that almost explosion of talent that we're going to see. And you're seeing it in every way. Every time something happens, you see there's some 17-year-old playing something. You hear of names and stories and people coming from all corners of the country. Most of these girls, half of them they were not from the big cities. They were from the smaller towns. Harmanpreet herself is from Moga.
That's
Smriti is from Sangli. So you have that kind of pattern play itself out in another way, in its own way and its own shape.
Either way, we are smiling through all of this, and that's why I think I feel emotional at one level, because there's an innocence to the sport which you see when women's cricket celebrates, the way in which they celebrate a wicket, the way in which they came together. You almost feel as if sport is alive. And to see the power of 50, as I call it, the power of 50, meaning 50% of the population really expressing itself, maybe they will inspire many others across various fields of activity to aim big. So that's why it was a very, very special day in Mumbai, and we all have a smile on our face this Monday night. What can I say? Thank you, Harmanpreet, and thank you to the entire Indian team. You are all total rock stars. And to all my guests, thank you so much for joining me here on. Yes, Diana, you want to say something? 30 seconds.
No,
Yeah,
Rajdeep,
Rajdeep, I just want to say that I would like to praise ICC for promoting women's cricket so much. The way they have pumped into global promotion of women's cricket, Mr. Jay Shah is doing a wonderful job.
Okay, Mr. Jay Shah has often been targeted as a Nepo kid by his critics, but you have to give Jay Shah some of the credit for the fact that he has driven women's cricket, at least given them space in the last few years. And all credit to BCCI. When you do good things, we will praise you. But thank you all very much for joining us here on the show today.
Thank you, Rajdeep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joining me now is another special guest. I'm joined by one of the iconic figures of sport and women's sport in particular in this country, Sania Mirza, Grand Slam winner on multiple occasions, four-time Olympian, #1 in world doubles tennis. Appreciate your joining us, Sania. Like you, the women of cricket have become trendsetters. What does it feel like when you know that India is the world champion now in women's cricket? For you, as a sports person, as an Indian, what did that moment feel like?
No, I mean, first of all, congratulations to all of us and to our great country. But I think that what the women have done for us today just shows the kind of sacrifice and the commitment that's been going on for the last 25, 30 years. And I'm so glad to see that the recognition, the stands full. There was a question that was asked to Harmanpreet saying, usually you guys don't have, in the press conference, usually you guys don't have so much of ticket issues, right? But I'm sure at this time, like the men cricketers usually do. And it's so good to hear that she also has those issues. And it's truly what an incredibly amazing moment for all of us. And honestly, as a female athlete coming from India, this does feel personal. And I know it's not personal, but it just does feel so personal.
Because you, as I said, also broke a glass ceiling in a way by competing and winning in Grand Slams. Is that part of the attraction, you think, of women's sport in India? Because what you do is you break prejudice and you break barriers. Is that how you also felt when you won? And do you think a similar feeling is what you felt yesterday watching the women win?
You know, honestly, that's not what you feel when you win. What you feel is proud. We, as female athletes, have been trying for many, many generations, I should say, to try to make a mark. And you know, there's always there's one that happens, and then we don't hear of incredible women athletes, maybe because of the kind of acknowledgement they receive is not as much as the others do. But this to happen the way it's happened at the world stage, World Cup happening in India, India winning. I mean, these are what great stories and dreams are made of, and you can see it on the faces of all these young girls. But I did see a video on social media which was actually really heartening to see the cricketers, the women cricketers that had played. There was Mitali Raj, you know, in that, and Anjum Chopra, and everybody was like almost saying thank you and holding up that trophy, and you know, they were lifting it up like they had won it. That's how personal it feels for everyone. So you don't really feel, oh my God, we've broken a glass ceiling. What you do feel is extremely proud. You feel extremely honored to be in that position, and you know, just it's a matter of great pride to be able to hold that trophy, be world champions, and yeah, I mean, the scenes and those pictures say it all.
Is it easier today, you think, than it was 20 years ago when you started off? Do you think because of aspirational levels, there's far more money in sport, even in women's sport? Do you think it becomes easier to fulfill your dreams today than it was 20, 25 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. I think that I don't know if it's easier in terms of effort. The effort is still the same, but it's definitely easier in terms of the belief. You know, it's always hard to be the first to do things, and because there's no actually pathway to follow, and there's not really, you know, you don't really you make your own mistakes, you learn from your own mistakes, and then you know, succeed sometimes. But I feel that today there's when you say women's cricket, when you say a female athlete, when you say a world champion from India who's a female in any sport, I think people take it seriously. And when a young girl or a young kid tells their parent that I want to be Smriti Mandana, I want to be Sania Mirza, I want to be PV Sindhu or Mary Kom, the parents don't say it's a ridiculous dream. I think today they say that yes, you can do it. So I do feel that mentality has kind of shifted, and that's why we will also see more young girls playing, more young girls becoming champions, and you know, India on the world map.
You made an important point because your parents were hugely supportive through good times and bad. Do you believe that's the key? You know, many of these girls have come from small towns. Their parents have sacrificed a lot. That seems to be one of the big changes, that it is almost as if today, having a girl child who wants to play sport, the parents are playing an important role in encouraging them to play sport in comparison to 20, 25 years ago.
See, I think the thing is that that was always the case, but you know, because of the lack of opportunity, lack of acknowledgement, lack of you know, just the belief that the parents actually believe that, oh my God, my child can play cricket or play tennis or play whatever they want and be professional at it, and actually earn a living from it or get recognition from it and play for the country for it. I don't think that belief existed before. And my parents, obviously, you know, we're talking about over 30 years ago, where they believed that, and they were probably a minority at that point, to come out and say that no matter what, we don't care, you know, we're playing for the love of it. And people at that point just actually played for the love of sport. The recognition and the TV and the money and everything else comes much later, if at all. But today things have changed. I mean, you see big hoardings, billboards, ads, you see a lot of female athletes on them from all different genres of sport. And I think that today parents believe that my child, my child can become a professional athlete, and that can bring, and it won't be a waste of time. And sport is not just for boys anymore.
one final word. What do you want to say to the team? Is there a special message that you have for Harmanpreet and the entire team?
Oh my gosh, I just want to say congratulations to all of them. I got to spend some time with a few of them on the team a couple of years ago, and it was so incredible to actually hear stories from them about where they've come from, how they started playing cricket. And I just want to say that you've made the entire nation proud, needless to say, but as a fellow female athlete, this feels personal, and thank you for doing this for us and for our country.
Sania Mirza, as I said, you've also been one of the trendsetters and path breakers. For you to join us on this very special day is also special. So thank you very much for your contribution, and of course to the incredible women cricketers who've scaled the pinnacle of their sport. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, the first phase of campaigning for the big Bihar elections ends tomorrow. I'm in Patna at the moment. And earlier today, I traveled to Mokama. Why Mokama? Because in the constituencies of Bihar, Mokama is being closely watched. The candidate of the JDU, Anant Singh, a strong man, was arrested this weekend, allegedly for murdering a supporter of a rival candidate. And pitted against him is the wife of another strong man of Mokama. If you want to know where the politics of Bihar has not changed and remained frozen in time with the rise of Bahubalis, you have to turn to Mokama. Is this Jungle Raj 2.0 or is that an exaggeration? That's what I tried to find out by traveling to Mokama. Take a look. One of the constituencies that will be looked at very closely in the first phase of the Bihar campaign is that of Mokama. This is the constituency which has been represented for the last 2 decades by Anant Kumar Singh. Now, many see Anant Kumar Singh as a Bahubali, someone who has readily switched sides from the RJD to the JDU and even won as an independent. This time, he's in the news again because he's being accused of murdering a supporter of a rival candidate and is now in jail contesting on a JDU ticket. The question then is he an example of Jungle Raj 2.0 as the opposition claims, or simply part of a political culture in Bihar where criminalization has been normalized? What explains Anant Singh's continuing hold over Mokama? Let's try and find out. Come with me. ये बताइए, आप लोग सब आनंद सिंह का टी शर्ट पहन के सब आए हैं, वो तो एक मिनट आनंद सिंह तो जेल चले गए हैं, उनका नाम अभी मर्डर चार्ज पे आ गया है, निर्दोष।
ये साजिश है,
बाहुबली है। आप मानते हैं कि नहीं कि वो बाहुबली है?
जनता उनको चुन के 6 बार से भेज रही है, तो जनता के बल से वो बाहुबली है, गरीबों के वो मसीहा।
अरे पर उनके पास तो इतनी बड़ी संपत्ति हो गई है, 100 करोड़ से ज्यादा संपत्ति है उनके और उनके पत्नी के बीच में।
देखिए, संपत्ति होना है
गरीब जनता को, शादी ब्याह मरनी दवा बीरो में वो बांटते हैं। गरीब जनता के लिए भगवान है और जनता उनको बार बार विजयी बना रही है।
28 एफआईआर उनके खिलाफ है, मर्डर के, किडनैपिंग के, अलग अलग केस में है, और आप कह रहे हैं कि ये
साबित कितना हुआ? अब मीडिया ट्रायल भी कीजिएगा, जजमेंट
2022 में किया गया, उनको
बड़ी हो गए।
आप मानते नहीं है कि ये मर्डर में उनका?
बिल्कुल नहीं है, आरोप है, ये सुनियोजित साजिश है।
एक ऐसा व्यक्ति जिस पर इतने गंभीर आरोप लगते हैं, वो आपका मसीहा बनता है, वो छोटे सरकार बनता है? ये तो गुंडागिरी है।
मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ। जब गांधी जी चले थे आजादी दिलाने अंग्रेजों से, तो उन पे क्या क्या जतन हुई है।
तो आप अनंत सिंह को गांधी से तुलना कर दी है। Okay, now the JDU MP and a minister in the Modi government from Munger, which is the Lok Sabha constituency where Mokama is located. Lallan Singh is here, a key aide of Nitish Kumar. I want to go and meet Lallan Singh and ask him, why did they give a ticket to someone like Anant Kumar Singh when the JDU claims that they are fighting criminalization? Come with me. Sir, एक मिनट. सर, एक मिनट. एक मिनट सर. कैसे है ललन सिंह जी? ये बताइए, ये जिस तरह से अनंत सिंह जी को जेल में डाला गया है, क्या आप मानते हैं इससे जेडीयू की छवि को नुकसान पहुंचा है? आप कहते हैं जंगल राज लालू प्रसाद का था, वो कहते हैं आपके राज में अब लोग जेल जाते हैं.
जेल जाना अलग चीज है
जी.
अनंत सिंह जी ने कानून का सम्मान किया है
जी.
और नीतीश कुमार के राज में जो कानून का राज है उसका सम्मान किया.
पर आपने ऐसे कैंडिडेट को क्यों टिकट दी जो मर्डर के केस इतने हैं उनके खिलाफ?
छोड़िए ना, आप किसको किसको बताइएगा? रीतलाल को नहीं दिख रहा है आपको? आपका माइंडसेट कुछ दूसरा है, आपके नैरेटिव दूसरे हैं, तो आप अपने नैरेटिव को मेरे मुंह पर मत डालिए. रीतलाल आपको बता रहे हैं ना, जाके पूछिए ना. रीतलाल यादव क्या है? स्वतंत्रता सेनानी है
जो मारा गया.
जी नहीं.
दुलार यादव जो मारा गया? जी
नहीं. पहले आप ये बताइए ना, जिसको तेजस्वी यादव जी ने दानापुर से टिकट दिया वो स्वतंत्रता सेनानी है? आपकी नजर में हो सकता है, इसलिए कि मुझको पता है आपका नैरेटिव अलग है. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
आप मुझे इनके बारे में बताइए ना. अनंत सिंह का
आपको जो समझ में आता है प्रचार करिए.
अनंत सिंह को किस तरह से आप देखते हैं? भैया अनंत कुमार सिंह अपराधी की छवि है, उससे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. इतने मर्डर के जो आदमी जेल में है उसको अभी आप अपना एमएलए बनाएंगे?
तो आप लोग सवाल कीजिए नीतीश जी मोदी जी क्यों टिकट देते हैं अनंत सिंह को?
ये बाहुबली इतने आसानी से चुनाव क्यों जीतते हैं?
पैसा है उनके पास.
पैसा है तो पैसे के दम पे जीतते हैं.
और कुछ जनता काम थोड़े होता.
तो जनता नहीं जीत सकती. कोई आम आदमी
कहीं नहीं रहेगा.
हाँ, पैसे के दम पे जीतते हैं.
सवाल क्या, पैसा है तो सब.
Okay, now Mokama's tryst with criminality at election time is fraught with complications. While Anant Singh is now in jail accused of murder, his principal rival Veena Devi is the wife of Suraj Bhan, who was convicted in 2008 and sentenced to life imprisonment again on murder charges. She's contesting on an RJD ticket. And even the person who was killed, Dular Chand Yadav, had a long history of crime. Crime, it seems, is a way of life in Mokama. We are at the office of Veena Devi, wife of Suraj Bhan. नमस्कार, कैसे हैं आप लोग सब? ये जो चुनाव है, ये कहा जा रहा है एक डॉन बनाम दूसरा डॉन. एक बाहुबली एक तरफ, दूसरा बाहुबली दूसरी तरफ. वीना देवी के हस्बैंड सूरज भान, उनके खिलाफ भी गंभीर आरोप थे, आज अनंत कुमार सिंह के खिलाफ है. कैसे देखते हैं? क्या ये इस तरह बाहुबली बनाम बाहुबली है या नहीं?
पहले का समय था, वो पहले का दौर ही ऐसा था.
उस दौर में बाहुबली बनना था.
2000 के बाद इन पर कोई केस नहीं है, एक भी 107 का केस नहीं हुआ है.
लेकिन 2008 में तो उनको उम्र कैद मिली थी ना?
नहीं, लेकिन अब आज 2000 के बाद इन पर कोई एक भी केस नहीं हुआ है.
तो अब साफ सुथरे हो गए हैं. और अनंत सिंह
जो भी बात कर रहे हैं सब मुद्दा विकास का कर रहे हैं. मोकामा मांगे बदलाव.
पहले
हालात थे,
राजनीतिक हालात. उनको तो उम्र कैद मिली
थी, लेकिन अभी वही
वो चुनाव नहीं लड़ सकते.
न्यायालय से उनको बरी किया गया है.
फिर पत्नी क्यों लड़ रही है? वो तो नहीं लड़ रहे ना.
बाटा बंद हो गया है, मैकडॉवेल बंद हो गया, सूता मिल बंद हो गया, FCI बंद हो गया.
सूरज भान जी नमस्कार, कैसे हैं?
ठीक है.
पैर पर मोच लगी है, चोट लगी है?
ये क्रांति हो गया.
कैंपेन करते करते
ना पहले से.
ये बताइए, ये चुनाव कहा जा रहा है प्रतिष्ठा का चुनाव है दो बाहुबलियों के बीच, अनंत सिंह और सूरज भान सिंह. सही है ये?
पर्ची ठग सवाल इसमें क्या है? अगर चुनाव हो रहा है 243 में, उसमें बिहार है, बिहार में भी हो रहा है सर।
ये कहा जा रहा है दो बाहुबलियों के बीच में लड़ाई है, आपने अपनी पत्नी को रखा है सामने, वो खुद सामने रहे, सही है गलत है?
देखिए सर, उम्मीदवार तो हर दल के होते हैं लोग, जनता जिसे की किन पे विश्वास करते हैं सवाल ये है, और जनता सर्वोपरि है सर।
पर ये क्या है कि अपराधीकरण के जो छवि के कैंडिडेट हैं उनका 5 बार जीत कर आए अनंत सिंह, आप सांसद बने, आपकी पत्नी भी सांसद बनी, ऐसा लगता है कि माहौल बनता है कि जिसके पास ताकत है, दम है, गन है, वो जीतता है चुनाव।
जनता सर्वोपरि है, उनको डिसीजन लेना है कि हमको क्या करना है।
सर, पर जिस तरह से आपके खिलाफ इतने मर्डर के केस हुए, आप कन्विक्ट हुए, अब अनंत सिंह के खिलाफ जो गंभीर आरोप लगे हैं, क्या आप समझते हैं ये जनता के पास, जनता त्रस्त है, कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है उनके पास?
जनता जिसे कि सब कुछ जानती है सर कि कौन क्या कर सकते हैं, ये सब डिसीजन लेने का जनता का काम है कि कौन डिसीजन लेते हैं।
तो अपराधीकरण, जंगल राज, प्रधानमंत्री आते हैं कहते हैं कि यहाँ बिहार में जंगल राज आएगा अगर राजद की सरकार आई तो।
देखिए, ये चीज तो आपका आंकड़ा लेना है कि लालू जी के राज कब तक रहा, नीतीश जी के राज कब तक रहा, कब क्या हुआ, ये तो आप तो बढ़िया आंकड़ा।
तो आप क्या कह रहे हैं कि जंगल राज अभी भी है?
देखिए,
एक छवि अभी भी है बिहार में,
छवि जिसे कि बिहार का नहीं है, ये तो ऐसा घटना हुई, ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण देश के लिए हुआ और पूरे देश देख रहा, और इस पे जिनकी कार्रवाई करने थे वे अपनी कर्तव्य को, जो पूरे देश उन पर विश्वास कर रहा है, उसमें कहीं न कहीं वो अपनी कार्रवाई करके पूरे देश की साख को बचाए, अपनी साख को बचाए, देश के भरोसा जीते।
Mokama in a sense then represents a part of Bihar that appears to be caught in a time warp, seemingly fallen off the map, where often the only form of capital accumulation is, dare one say, a tryst with criminality. Which is why whoever wins the battle for Mokama, crime will only be a trigger away. Rajdeep Sardesai in Mokama for India Today. भैया लिट्टी चोखा तैयार? अरे वाह, ये हुई ना बात। As you can see, I am preparing for elections on my plate after a long gap. Now the litti chokha in Delhi is good, but it isn't quite as good as what you get in Bihar. So what can I say? Chalo Bihar. Okay, the air quality in Delhi has only worsened. Smog continues to envelop the city. It's not just that. An India Today reality check has now found trucks sprinkling water at air quality stations only to try and suggest that the air quality has improved. In fact, the Supreme Court today has also pulled up the government saying, where are some of those air quality measures that are required? What's going on the ground in Delhi when it comes to air pollution? It's our Get Real India story.
ये छिड़काव दरअसल दिल्ली के आनंद विहार ISBT के पास जो रियल टाइम पोल्यूशन मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम होता है सरकार का, उसके ऊपर किया जा रहा है।
Delhi's pollution fight on display. Trucks sprinkling water right outside the air quality monitoring station at Anand Vihar, one of the pollution hotspots. Locals say such sprinkling is done multiple times.
हाँ जी, मैंने तो सुबह से कंटिन्यू देख रहा हूँ, कम से कम दिन में 5-6 बार ट्रक आया।
Currently the politics is escalating on this issue where Aam Aadmi Party is targeting the Bharatiya Janata Party over the air pollution in the national capital. Recently Aam Aadmi Party chief Saurabh Bhardwaj has shared a video on social media showing that water sprinkling trucks spraying water around the AQI monitoring station. Around 4 to 5 times the water trucks are visiting here. They are spraying water here, and on the other hand, we are seeing politics over this issue. But BJP government and officers are saying that this is a routine exercise to settle down dust particles near the AQI monitoring station.
As Delhi battles very poor air quality, the controversy in the capital is on whether the BJP government is trying to manipulate air quality data. The opposition has alleged the BJP government is continually spraying water at air quality monitoring stations to force a dip in the readings. The Aam Aadmi Party has put out a comparison of current AQI readings with those of last year, claiming that Chief Minister Rekha Gupta is trying to fool the public. The state government has rejected these charges, saying the sprinkling is part of routine anti-pollution measures to reduce dust levels in the air. Environment Minister Manjinder Singh Sirsa has put out his own comparison of readings under the AAP government and the BJP government, claiming that the numbers are the result of a working government. As the political blame game continues, Delhi continues to struggle to breathe in the toxic air. But even with the AQI hovering around 400, Delhi hosted quite a few fitness events this weekend. Hundreds of runners and bikers hit the roads of Delhi, gasping their way through the haze. Bureau Report, India Today.